What is good with everyone, man? Welcome back to another video. Today I got a very exciting topic if you ask me. In this video you can expect some real biblical truth to be revealed in this video because this topic is actually quite a controversial one when it comes to the Bible or the truth community. Um, Me personally, I don't think it's controversial at all. I think the Bible makes it very clear on, what we can and can't eat. Um, but yeah, without further ado, I say we get into it. Right there on your screen, on your right side, that's your boy right there. That's me. For those of you who know me, right, I'm a I'm a deep, deep thinker. As a matter of fact, sometimes I think that deep to the point where I start questioning everything I ever been taught. Yeah, especially when it comes to religion. If you were to ask me, as a Bible believer, what my opinion was on Bible believers being able to eat pork, catfish, shrimp, all the abominable foods, right? I'll point you towards Isaiah 66, verses 17, where it says, "They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination, and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord." You might have a few questions. What is swine? Swine is another word for pig. So when it says swine, it just means pig. So right here in Isaiah 66, you can look up the verse if you want, or you can just take my word for it. I'm telling you the context of the verse is it's talking about when the second coming of the Messiah comes, and he's going to smite everybody with the sword that's eating the unclean foods. But you don't have to believe me. Look it up. And me, right? The people that I'm around, my family, my friends, um, every time I tell them that I don't eat pork, it's like they get really pissed off or annoyed in some sort of way. So that's why I really wanted to cover this topic because I don't see why it's so, you know, weird about me not eating pork when the Bible tells you that, everyone who wants to eat that's gonna get smitten with the sword. So I get all sorts of persecution for that. People call me a Muslim because I don't want to eat the pork, even though it's not just the pork. The Muslims eat the seafood, but I don't eat the seafood. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, well, you're not a Muslim and you don't follow mainstream Christianity. So, Tim, please tell me, what do you identify yourself as? Well, I'm glad you asked. I identify myself as a Hebrew Israelite. Now, yes, I also follow Christ, but I call myself a Hebrew Israelite. And that's not a religious thing, that's my nationality. Because I found in the scriptures that, especially in Deuteronomy 28 basically tells you who the house of Israel is. I mean, look at the sheet. It's pretty much got all the Latin Americans, the Native Americans. It's got the Aboriginal Australians from the tribe of Reuben. That's where I come from. My forefathers are Aboriginal Australians, meaning I would come from the tribe of Reuben. It's got the Islanders on there. The Negro Americans. They're also the tribe of Judah. So this is, Deuteronomy 28 gives you an idea of who the Israelites are because it gives you all of the prophecies and the curses that the Israelites fit under today. So if you read that, you'll find out who the actual Israelites are. But yeah, I still follow Christ. I call myself a follower of Christ as well as that. Now let's get into Leviticus chapter 11, verses 7, where it says, "And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to ye." You see, in Leviticus chapter 11, it tells you all the foods that you can and can't eat. They're the simple laws we have to follow. Um, for the beasts of the earth, right? Because a pig would be a beast of the earth, along with the cows, the sheep, the deer, they're all beasts of the earth. The rule was if you were able to eat it, it had to have a divided hoof, it had to be cloven footed, and it had to chew the cud. The Bible told you directly here that, the swine had a divided hoof and it was cloven footed, but he didn't chew the cud, so he is unclean unto you. It even used swine as an example, so that should be an obvious one. we don't eat swine. And if we go to verses 9 and 10, it talks about, you know, the food we eat out of the waters. It says, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. And you know what the funny thing is? I haven't got that verse. I wish I got that verse. It even says we're not even supposed to touch their carcasses. We're not even supposed to touch their dead bodies. So imagine what that does to you when you put that inside of your mouth and swallow it, put it in your digestive system. Imagine what that does to you. See, there's a reason the Bible said we're not supposed to eat these foods. And you might think you might have caught me right here, right? You might think, oh, well, Tim, the law's done away with. We don't got to follow the law anymore. The law was done away with when Christ died on the cross and rose. No, no. As a matter of fact, if you read Matthew chapter 5, Christ tells you himself, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. See, this is where mainstream Christianity got it wrong. All these big money pastors teaching you that the law's done away with. They don't love your soul. They just love your money. They are money hungry demons, and all they care about is chasing that coin. All you atheistic Christians, right? Or people that don't believe in the Bible, just atheists in general, who you got to see it first by science. Science is, you got to trust in, man. You put your trust in man. Well, this is what man found with his sciences, right? They put pork under a microscope right there on your left hand side. That's what pork looks like under a microscope. They found all sorts of different parasites inside the pork. This is raw pork, by the way. But still, if you cooked it, it wouldn't make a difference. I think the parasites would just get cooked too. But still, they're still dirty and filthy. And on your right side, that filthy looking thing, that's a tapeworm. This can also be found inside of raw pork. As a matter of fact, I was reading a story a few months ago. An article popped up on the news where some person ate raw pork and they got a tapeworm in their brain. So these are some of the consequences that can happen by you not following the dietary laws. See, God didn't make mistakes when he put the dietary laws there. There was a reason he put the dietary laws there. He knew that they weren't good for us. And a lot of these, them seafoods like the shark, the shrimp, the crab, all them, they were made to basically eat the shit at the bottom of the sea. They were made to eat up, you know, all the waste at the bottom. And the pigs and all that, they were made to eat up the waste of the earth. God made them to clean up the earth and clean up the filthiness. But instead, we want to put them inside of our mouth and it just defiles us. The Lord said it's an abomination unto us. Now, I want to finish by saying this, right? Because giving up pork, I found it was quite an easy experience because me, I've always been, I guess you could say, disciplined when it comes to, health. I've always been somewhat disciplined. So it was easy for me to give up pork, but I still get my temptations every now and then. It's also very spiritual because you'll find that once you start giving up pork, you'll find that some friends, some family members, um, people just basically they'll lose their shit with you because they can't understand why you call yourself a Bible believer or Christian and you don't want to eat pork, catfish, shrimp, lobster, all the other abominable foods that I just pointed out. They'll absolutely lose it with you because they think the law's done away with. So you can expect that sort of spiritual warfare to take place. And not only that, but I would say probably once every week or at least once every 2 weeks, I'll get a dream where I'm eating some sort of pork. I'm eating a ham sandwich. Now, I wake up and I have a big sigh, like I've, a big sigh of relief. I'm like, oh, it's just a dream. But it's in the dream, it feels so real. Like you can feel the taste, you can feel the texture. Like, man, like it literally feels like you're eating pork. But what this is the devil trying to tempt you to go back to eating it. This is what the Bible means when it says that, you know, when it explains that there's two worlds, the physical world and the spiritual realm. When you sleep, you're entering the spiritual realm, and that's when spirits interact with you. And yeah, when you're first trying to give up these foods, I've been off them for I think 15, 14 months now. But yeah, when you really first getting off these foods, you probably find almost every night you'll start eating some sort of abominable food in your dream. I mean, man, when I found out that all these foods, eating them was a sin, I remember I was having dreams where I was eating spiders and all sorts of that sort of thing. Man, like the spiritual warfare was crazy. And I remember there was a night where I ate nothing but greens, I think. I'm pretty sure I just ate greens. And I went to bed that night. I got up about 3 a.m. I was feeling sick as heck. I went to the toilet bowl and I had a big spee and it all come out red. And I'm pretty sure that was the same night that I was eating spiders in my dreams. So the spiritual world is extremely real and you will get attacked when you try to give up these foods. So, you know, you need to stay in prayer with the Most High when this happens so you don't experience what I experienced. But that's just my recommendation to y'all. Look, if you made it this far and you learned something, I, I ask you hit the like button. But if you didn't enjoy this video, feel free to hit the dislike button. Like, I just want to know what your thoughts are on about it and comment down below what you think about it. But this is my opinion. Um, Peace and blessings to you all. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one.